Hi ladies, my name's Heather Campbell and I am going to talk to you about getting full coverage with SeneGence products. First let me start putting my hair up here so it doesn't get in the way. Hope everyone's doing well. As you can see, I don't have any makeup on right now. So some of you might be thinking, ooh, your skin doesn't look so good. But I can tell you that I started with SeneGence 2 years ago and started using the skincare probably a year and a half ago, all of it anyway. And I have seen such a vast improvement in my skin, and very pleased with the results so far. So if you think this was bad, it was a lot worse. So I am definitely happy with all my skin, and I also want to apologize for the lighting. This is kind of like the only place that I can get away from the noise of family life. So bear with me. Hopefully you'll still be able to see all that you need to see. And let me kind of give you some background on some of the issues with my skin and what I've used so far on my skin. So I have 3 children, and the last 2 are boys, and all those hormones really just wreaked havoc on my skin. Melasma, if you don't know what that is, sometimes people refer to it as pregnancy mask. Typically, it'll go away. Mine never did. I've also read where using certain types of birth control causes discolorations in the face, things like that. So I've got the melasma up here, here, and here, and it's also paired with acne scarring. I had great skin as a teenager. After having children, it's like I said, those boys were so bad to me. But no, they're sweet now. But yeah, I had acne, and I am a picker, definitely. So acne scarring in lots of different places, coupled with tanning beds, tanning salons. I thankfully don't do that anymore, so that's good. So that's kind of my history. You can see that I have, redness in my face too. So I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks for getting the best coverage. And let me kind of start off by telling you what I've done so far with my face. So I've used the 3-in-1 cleanser. I use the oily to acne formula because I'm still oily. Even though I'm 41, I'm still oily. So I use the oily to acne line. Then after the cleanser, I use the new product called the brightening multivitamin treatment. This is just awesomeness. So I have seen my dark spots lighten. I don't know if you can see this one, but that one has really gotten light along with all of these other things. This is like an intense treatment, so you can use it every day. That's not a problem. You're gonna see it in 60 days. You will definitely see results. Absolutely. So brightening multivitamin treatment. Good stuff. Helps with all the damage and helps to lighten and brighten your skin. All right, then after that, excuse me, anti-wrinkle. So I definitely have seen results from anti-wrinkle right in here, and I've seen some in here, right here. I put it right there and here too. So this little baby they call it Botox in a bottle. I'm not going to go into tons of details about all these products because you're going to get them throughout this event. So I just am going to share with you what I use. The next product, climate control. This, coupled with the SeneSerum C, is what really started to transform my skin before the brightening multivitamin treatment came out, because that's new. But these 2 together is what started everything off and making it look so much better. Okay, after that, my daytime moisturizer, and again, I use, excuse me, the Oily to Acne, excuse me, Oily to Acne line. Okay, so that leads me to the next part. Now, we have the color correcting tinted moisturizer. Yes, I already put moisturizer on, but this is something completely different. So if you're trying to get maximum coverage, this is definitely something that you can use. There's other products that I'm going to show you as well, but I start off with some of this as well. Now, you can choose to use your fingers and put it on. You can use a brush. Me, I'll put some on my finger. And excuse me while I grab a brush. Hang on. I'm back. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to use a stippling brush. And I'm going to start off. And again, hopefully the lighting will work with this. And notice the technique that I'm using. I'm not brushing it on, I'm stippling it on. So this is going to be the first plan of action for me. And again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. There's no one way is better than the other. It's your preference and what works for you. So, and there's lots of different ways that you can do it. So I'm going to show you the way that I have found to be helpful for me. And that's kind of what you have to do. You just have to play around to see what works best for you and your skin. A lot of people will just use the tinted moisturizer and be great. But with, my skin and the way, in the condition that it's in, that doesn't quite work for me. So I need a little bit more coverage. Excuse me. All right, so that's just a quick start, and that's an option for you is using this before your foundation. And again, that's the color correcting tinted moisturizer. I used medium. Okay, the next thing that I do is silk. The downward motion is definitely something that you need to do because that's what helps to minimize the look of your pores. So you're putting it on in a downward motion to minimize those pores and wrinkles. So it's helping to make a smooth surface for your makeup. Okay, so again, you don't need a whole lot. Half a pump works. I'm going to grab another brush. Okay, I'm not sure this is the right brush, but that's okay. So downward motion, and you can use your fingers too. You do not have to use a brush, but you might find that your results are better that way. And again, it's all about experimenting to see what works best with you and your skin. And it's best to, excuse me, let this dry for a good few minutes. But I'm not going to make you do that. So we'll put it on. I will fan myself a little bit and we'll keep going. Keep going. Okay. I love the smell of silk. It's so yummy. All right, so the first thing I'm going to tackle is the redness. So we have concealers. We have the green concealer, which cancels out the red, so that's what I'm going to start with. We also have a light concealer, a medium concealer. We also have a deep concealer, which I don't have in front of me right now, and we have a white concealer. So again, to cancel out that red, I'm going to start with the green. I'm going to put a little bit, excuse me, on my finger. I'm just going to kind of tap that in and work it around, but I'm going to let it dry a little bit before I really tap it in. You can see my cheeks. Now, if you had a blemish, I would definitely recommend putting the green on. A lot of people will put the green around their nose, right there. I don't typically put a lot on my forehead of the green, just mainly where I'm seeing all the redness, like the cheeks and that area. Excuse me. Okay, I'm letting that dry just a tad, and you're going to see some magic right here because you're going to see the red disappear. So I'm just going to tap it in. And again, there's different brushes you can use. I just grabbed this one. It's not the one I typically use, but it works. And don't worry, you're not going to see all this green on my face, even though you can see it right now. You're not going to see it once I get makeup on. Okay. Can you see the difference? And again, this lighting is doing some monkey things that I see on camera. So hopefully it's not too bad when you're watching it. Okay. So now we're looking at the melasma spots. All right, so again, there's options here that you have. You have the light medium concealer. You also have SeneGence. You have white concealer, but something I've been told is that when you have those dark spots, it's easier to hide them when you match the color of the spots versus try to lighten the spots. So I use the medium, but again, you have the options of using light, or you have SeneGence. You can use Candlelight or Sandstone Pearl, all depending on your skin tone and what you like the best. And I'm going to show you the medium concealer because that's what I've been using. Okay, let's hope. I'm getting kind of low on this, so. There we go. So a little dot goes a long way. And again, I'm just going to kind of tap it in, let it dry a little bit. Hit all those darker spots. Now I've got a lot, but I'm showing you some of the major ones. And again, some people do concealer after they put on their foundation, and that's okay for you to try too. So it's not a one size fits all when it comes to concealing. Okay. I'm going to take and tap that in as well. And again, this light is crazy. Sorry. Hopefully the glare. My forehead's shining all over the place on you guys. Do you see that spot? It's pretty covered up. does pretty well. Okay, so now I am ready to start my foundation. Excuse me. So I have a palette, but it's packed up right now. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cover of my foundation, and I'm just going to put one pump on top of my cover and use that. I could put it in my finger too. Something to notice is that, look at, these are airless or air pumps. So you get every last drop of your product out. It is phenomenal. Okay, and you know, it measures itself. All you need is a pump, maybe even less. Okay, so again, I'm gonna use that stippling technique. And I'm just gonna kind of put some dots all over and start working it in. Hopefully I can get the glare to not be so bad. And the great thing about this is that this foundation is buildable. That means that you can put on one coat, you could let that dry and put on another coat, or you could put on your coat, put on the powder, and put another coat of foundation on after that, and then put on more powder, and it won't feel cakey. And again, remember, this has the Cineplex complex in it, so it's skincare in your foundation. Pretty awesome. Okay, you can blend down into your neck. Okay. Let me see if I can move to a different spot. Alrighty. So, the next thing I'm going to show you, typically I would put like my contour and blush on right now and then put powder on top, but I'm going to skip that step to save some time and show you the powder. Now we, excuse me, we have 3 shades of powder. We've got natural, we've got the silver rose, and the bronze dust. I use the natural to go all over my face, and then I'll use one of the shimmer powders to accent the areas that I would put blush in. Alright, so again, I won't go into too much product knowledge, but, excuse me, this is pretty awesome because you can take this on the go and get your powder where you need it. If you get a little bit shiny at the end of the day, you can pop this in your purse and take it out wherever you're getting shiny and apply it. Another thing that's really cool about this is you can open it up and put it on your own brushes or a palette and pick up your powder that way, whatever you feel more comfortable with. Okay, I'm just going to use this to show you. So sorry, I have one of those colds that will not go away. Allergies. Okay, so I'm opening up my powder and I'm just going to kind of blot that on there. I don't know if you can see the dust of powder or not. A little trick is, like, let's say you have a blemish somewhere. I have opened this up and taken some powder on my finger, and I have, after concealing or whatever, I have put a bunch of powder on there, let it sit, And then after it's been sitting for a while, then I'll dust it off. And that really helps to conceal those blemishes. So hopefully you're thinking that this is pretty good as far as coverage. Okay, I want to show you the silver rose powder that you can use as blush. You can use it everywhere too. And it adds that little bit of shimmer in there too. It's fun. Okay. So that is my routine for getting full coverage and covering up the melasma and the acne scarring as best as I can. And I would love to answer any questions, or you can, excuse me, or your distributor will help answer questions as well. The call to action is which method do you think you would use to cover? Would you use the concealers? Would you use shadow sets? Would you use the tinted moisturizer? Tell me what you think. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.